All right, what is going on? Today is Friday, March 3rd, and we had the first red day in a couple of days. I think it's been about 2 days. Um, this is what my day looked like today. Pretty, pretty bad and up and down. I started red, made a couple of okay trades to kind of bring me back down to a decent level, and then I gave it right back at the end of the day just with kind of some stupid trading. So we'll get into that here. 7 trades today. Again, not great. You can kind of see the intraday cumulative net P&L where I lost some money early, made some money back, almost back to break even, and then lost it again at the end of the day. So this is kind of what I did yesterday, with the exception of me finishing in the green yesterday. But I didn't give money back at the very end. So again, this is just over trading at its finest and just getting sloppy. So got a lot of work to do in that department. The first trade was actually an execution mistake. My plan was to the plan for the beginning of the day was to actually play off of this level right here. What I was looking for was on playing the gap fill. So we had opened shortly before this. We opened about 15, 20 minutes before this. I was waiting for this rejection over the open, and I was waiting for a sell-off to get down towards the gap fill, which is the overnight high or yesterday's high of day. And it ended up not doing ended up not filling the entire gap fill, and I wanted to bring that over here. So I had the full gap fill right here at yesterday's high of day. I had that at 3995, and if you look here, so what I did was I ended up shorting right here, basically hoping to play the short down here. In hindsight, it was a great move. And I was hoping to get here, and then I was going to play long the rest of the day. I was pretty bullish going into today, but I wanted to play those gap fill rules in the beginning. But I'll show you how quickly that went really bad because of execution. Now, what happened here was I had my stop. I have a 10-tick stop on Trade of 8, and so what happens is I have automatic brackets set. And so on this particular entry, I set my brackets, and what I was going to do is I was going to drag over here, like on the edge. I was going to like grab the little green stop loss section, and I was going to drag it up. So I was going to drag it up above this, right above this this pullback here. So that would have been my stop loss. And instead, I grabbed the wrong one. So I actually grabbed the high of day one, and I tried to drag the high of day. And if you know anything about Trade of 8, you can't drag the high day and load it. You can only drag stop losses and take profits. So I thought I was dragging my stop loss to above there, and it turns out that was not the case. And when this candle blew up, it stopped me out. So we'll get real close here. If you notice that this is where I was stopped out, which is not above, this was my planned level for my stop loss. This is where I got stopped out at. So that was actually an execution mistake. I was pretty disappointed as this thing was moving down, because I was like, this is a perfect play. I had it planned pre-market. Everything was set up well. The gap rules were in effect. And sure enough, I messed it up. So that got into my head mentally. And I immediately afterwards, I tried to go short again. This time, I was trying to fix my stop loss, but this was right during news, 10 a.m. news. See that it's a 10 a.m. candle right here. And sure enough, as soon as I got in, before I was able to adjust my stop loss, I stopped out. And if you notice, I'll zoom up here. My entry time was 10 o'clock and 25 seconds, and my stop out time was 10 o'clock 31 seconds. I was in that trade for 6 seconds before I got stopped out. So back to back, I got stopped out. First stop out was on an execution mistake, and then second stop out was on a candle on like news on a candle I shouldn't have been trading in the first place. So Unfortunately, not a great way to start your day, but that's, how it goes sometimes. And what do you know, the rest of the day I'm really off to a bad start. So after we had played this this gap fill move down, this did not complete here, but ended up getting a lot of buying pressure anyways. And this was following a lot of buying pressure the day before as well. So I'm bullish already. What I'm looking for here was I was looking for basically a continuation. So I looked for a pullback, and I was looking for a continuation into a higher high here and kind of a breakout. That didn't work out. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, it consolidated for quite some time. It consolidated in this range for quite some time. Not the end of the world, but just not a lot of stuff happening here. I was looking for more of a clean move straight through, but it is what it is. I was waiting for this move here to kind of break out, but maybe be a little bit patient, kind of know where these levels are. This was a pretty important level moving forward. 420 to 425 had always been a pretty big level. Kind of holds a lot of things up, but my next trade I did make some money. Let's see here. This was probably the longest trade of the day, and I will say this one was okay, I think, maybe with the exception of my exit. So I entered right here at this resistance level. It's kind of hard to see. I entered here right at this resistance level, 40.30. And this was the consolidation I just showed. So we had a little bit of a run up. We were testing 430. It was holding for a little bit. And then I saw the volume come in, and I hopped in kind of for a longer play. And I ended up carrying it all the way up. In hindsight, I could have sold here, sure. Gotten out and not have to kind of work through this consolidation, this kind of up and down sideways action. But maybe a late exit, or I could have just held longer. So just choose, because it ended up going up the rest of the day. The next trade, kind of a similar setup. This was right after the consolidation, so I exited right about here. Waited out the consolidation, and again waited for a little bit more buying pressure. This one worked out a little bit better. Today was an interesting day for me as far as like exits were concerned. So my stop losses were like okay, but I'm also watching my daughter throughout the day while I'm trading, so I can't always just monitor my trades as closely as I would like. I really wish I could have monitored this one. We were moving up pretty heavily, and like I got out pretty much at this high, and I definitely could have waited a little bit longer. I wasn't sure what the market was going to do, but I ended up having to get my daughter down for a nap, and I decided before I do that, close my position, take my profits, because at the start of my day I was already down $40-50. So at this point I'm just trying to take my profits, get out when I can get out, and just be done with it. So yes, I could have held longer, but I don't think there's anything wrong. You're never going to go broke taking profits. But you are going to go broke trading badly. So shortly afterwards, what I was looking at here was this is high of day that we reached during like normal trading hours. So 40.52. There was a lot of speculation around the 40.49 area and the 40.50 area. Super bullish heading into that area, and I was even still bullish afterwards, because we hit this high and we had a lot of selling pressure, but it wasn't the selling pressure that I was expecting. The 40.50 area was a super important area, and I was expecting a lot more intense selling pressure, and so that didn't happen. Obviously these candlesticks are pretty big, but we ended up getting a lot of resistance. If you're looking at it, there was still a lot of buying pressure. People are still buying in this area. And if you look at it shortly afterwards, they still kept buying. in my head, I'm thinking, if this is going to be the turnaround area, it's the buying or the selling pressure is going to be a lot harder than it actually was. So a part of me was still thinking that we were going to reach higher. I had, and in my head, I'm thinking also, if people at 40, 50, the people that had gotten like short at 40, 50, where are they going to put their stop losses? I'm thinking they're probably going to put their stop losses, 5 points, 10 points past it. So in my head, I'm thinking like 40, 55, 40, 60, kind of as like a place where we could kind of start to take that liquidity out of the market to keep moving forward. That ended up not being the case, and I struggled basically at the end of the day on, and I just kept throwing my money out and like giving away my profits for the day. Well, not really profits, giving away my making my red day a little bit worse than it had to be. This is my last trade of the day. I just cut it where it was. There was a lot of volatility happening, and I'm trading at this point. I'm trading at 355, right? So right before market closes. Just not really what you want to be doing in power hours. Just kind of like scalping off of huge candlesticks and no direction or anything. So not a great day. Again, ended up losing about $28, $29. But I did finish the week green. So this is my calendar. First week in March, finished just over $100, I think. So overall, not awful, but still have a lot of work to do, and we'll continue. This weekend, I'm hoping to actually try out one of my try out Apex funded trading to see if I can't get start trying on some prop firm accounts. I'm definitely not ready yet, for sure, but I like the idea of being able to trade on somebody else's money and have the risk be a lot, have the risk be on their plate and not mine, and I can use their money and not mine. Yeah, there's a monthly fee for the evaluations, but I'm hoping to make videos on how the prop firm evaluations go and keep everybody updated on that. Otherwise, that's all I have for today. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.